Hey guys, welcome to Something Interesting with Robert Rucker. I am Robert Rucker, your host, and I'm here with my guest, Mr. Jauan Durbin. What's going on, Jauan?
What's up, brother? Well, let me introduce myself. My name
go
is
ahead.
Jauan Durbin. I'm a rising sophomore political science major from Washington, D.C. I attend Morehouse College with Robert Ruckers, and I'm also the boy who's gone viral. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah. So we're gonna definitely get into that. So you were recently featured on Ebony magazine for being a scholarship's first ever recipient. So like, what does that mean to you? Were you happy? Were you exuberant? Like, did you give pride in yourself? Like, oh yeah, I did that. Or...
It's kind of funny. Well, the scholarship that I received is from the Black Kids in the Whole Foundation. The founder and co-founders, Guy Anthony and George Johnson, they came to my high school in the beginning of my senior year. You know, they just came to, I just thought that they were starting like this mentoringship organization, and I didn't know that they didn't have any, but like it was the start, like the brand new start of it, and they didn't have any, students, because the way that they presented it was, it was clear, it was concise, and it was well thought out. So I thought it was already, people just coming in to get the next batch of seniors. And I ended up coming to one of their galas, and I was recognized as their first scholarship recipient. And that was just,
awesome.
I was shocked, to say the least. It was just like I just showed up, and not to say that I just showed up and just got it, but it was that like
you weren't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it at all. Not at all.
Wow.
And then it's been growing. They've helped me. They gave me a $2,000 scholarship initially, and then I came to Morehouse second semester. I had a balance, and they paid off that balance.
Oh, true.
So
that's blessings for real.
Blessing.
I need to get to know the people. That's definitely a blessing. So I see that you're so active in the AUC, and for the viewers, the AUC is the Atlanta University Center, which is Morehouse College, Spelman College, as well as Clark Atlanta University. What are your involvements, and what does leadership mean to you? But we can start out with, what are your involvements with these different organizations on campus?
I would say my biggest involvement would be the Student Government Association. Here at Morehouse College, I serve as freshman class senator. Had the pleasure to serve as freshman class senator, to represent the great students in the class of 2020 at Morehouse College was an extreme blessing. And I just came in with a plan. Before I came here, I said I was going to be a senator. You could ask the alum that I talked to that were part of the Student Government Association. I said, what can I do to, put my foot in the door to, grow as a leader, on campus? And they told me that the Senate would be a great place to start. Class council was open, but I wasn't really interested in, running for president. I didn't want to, jump straight into, being the face of our class or anything like that. And I thought that the Senate was just going to allow me to, just grow as a leader, and it has. It has.
And so what is leadership to you?
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. That's what leadership is to me.
Leadership is the what?
Is the ability to translate vision into reality.
Is the ability to transfer vision into reality. That's good. So where does Jauan see himself in 10 years?
Wow. Where do I see myself in 10 years?
Okay. I saw a big smile. So like somewhere at the top, obviously.
Hopefully. I see myself have been graduated from law school.
Hey.
I see myself making change, no matter where that is or how recognized that is. Just making change. If I can be, awesome. The person pushing someone that is, the face of, of something, then that'll be fine with me. But the way that I'm heading right now, and the way that I feel that God is leading me, I feel like I'm being used as, as a voice for some people that, are voiceless right now. And I say right now because hopefully me inspiring other people can have them grow and be comfortable enough to be able to speak up for themselves. And if I can do that, then that will be amazing. So in 10 years, I see myself just honestly continuing what I'm doing now and just being myself unapologetically.
Unapologetically. That's awesome. That's super awesome. Describe yourself using one word.
Real, because I don't have to put on a facade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to, you know, try to be something that I'm not. And that's taken time for me to even get there. Because there was a time, you know, I would probably say like 2 or 3 months ago when I was seeing, you know, people, you know, making power moves and, you know, people flying out places and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, going to all these summits and things like that. And I was just like, I'm not doing anything. And I had to become content
Mm-hmm.
with what I have going on. And once I became content, so much just started spinning for
Opening.
me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like just being real and just staying, you know, staying true to yourself and not like, you know, doubting yourself and comparing yourself to other people and their accomplishments makes you real.
So you're really leading the charge to encourage men to live in their truth. I see all these articles.
Or not just men, just people.
Oh, people. Yeah, people living in their truth. So like explain that a little bit more. Or what's your aim, you know?
My aim basically is to not be the face or to be the voice of any specific people. It's just to bring awareness in not only the Black community, but in the LGBTQIA plus community. I feel as though in my community we have stigmas against each other. And then we also have stigmas from people that are not a part of the community.
Absolutely.
So breaking down those barriers and educating people about social norms and things like that is kind of where I've been shifting towards in like my advocacy work. And it just so happened that if you don't mind, I can get into the story about the viral tweet. I've been helping out with the Miss Morehouse pageant, which we call Miss Maroon and White. I was helping out with the pageant for over 3 months. I started helping in January. January, February-ish. And the time came for the pageant, you know, and that's like a pop-out moment. Like, you know, the AUC, everybody comes out, they come out in their best suits, their best jewelry and everything like that. And I decided that I wanted to wear makeup. Nobody's ever seen me like in full makeup. And I usually only wear makeup when I'm modeling and things like that. As you can see right now, I'm not even wearing makeup. So I decided to have my friend Kat. She's a Spelmanite at Spelman College. She's amazing. She did my makeup for the show, and I felt like I looked extremely handsome.
I mean, you did.
So I felt
Straight
like
up.
so. It was kind of, I got anxious walking down Brown Street. You know, Brown Street is the street that we just for the viewers, Brown Street is the street that we walk down, up and down. It's like the central part of campus. I was anxious walking down that street because it was just like, I felt like people were looking at me. They were looking at me. But I had to kind of, you know, lift my head up and put my shoulders up and be like, this is something that I decided to do to live in my truth. So at the pageant, I was received well. I didn't hear anybody say anything negative about me, to my face at least. But I got a lot of compliments and things like that. And I took pictures behind stage. So one of the pictures I took behind stage, I posted on Twitter and Instagram. And somehow it ended up on Facebook. Someone posted it and tagged me saying that I looked handsome, you know. And my mom saw it. So my mom sent me like the picture that she saw. And then she said a couple of words. And then it went from there. I posted the screenshot of our conversation on Twitter. I posted conversations with my mom like plenty of times before, and it never like blew up. And I was just thinking, you know, I was gonna get like a couple retweets, a couple, oh shit, this is, excuse my language, this is bad.
You're good.
And it blew up. My mentions were on fire. At first, there was a lot of support. I got a lot of support initially, and I'm still getting support. But as it started to get more recognition, that's when the trolls came in. Like the people that like are not doing anything with their life and just sit on Twitter all day, started calling me derogatory names. And that's when it moved from just, you know, my timeline to a wider spectrum of individuals. And it reached a lot of people. And I actually did my first interview with Mike.com. And that's when I got published, you know, online about my story. And then from then it's hit Media Takeout. I was on Teen Vogue. Ebony, I was on, what's the other one? 17 magazine. So it just blew up from there.
Yeah. Do you and your mom have a peculiar relationship? I know you said that you posted your conversation with her. Do you guys combat a lot, or is she usually accepting? Explain that relationship a little bit.
Just out of respect for my mom, You know, I'm not going to go too deep
Oh yeah,
into
no
you
doubt.
know our whole relationship. But what I can say is there's a lot of tension where there shouldn't be tension, and that just comes from time. My mom and I both dealt with things together and apart, and some intersect a little bit, and because of that, I can kind of understand where she's coming from. When she doesn't want me to be hurt, or she doesn't want people to look at me a certain type of way. But when my mom and I've tried to explain to her, what she needs to realize is that I'm a man that can stand on his own 2 feet, and not saying that no other gender can stand on their own 2 feet.
No.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
myself. I'm a person that can stand on their own 2 feet, and I can speak for myself, and I can take criticism for myself. Because I've been going throughout this entire situation without talking to my mom. Dealing with what I'm dealing with, still being in school, having to deal with school, and still having to deal with people asking me questions all day, every day, and then online and everything like that. So what I can say about my relationship with my mom is, it's peculiar, very peculiar, to say the least.
And yeah, I think it's so hard, especially for moms. It kind of sounds like your mom is having a hard time letting go, and like trusting that you can handle yourself. And I think that's so hard. Even dealing with my mom, she's like, "Robert, do this. Robert, do that." And I'm like, "Mom, I'm a grown man. I can make the decision for myself, because at this point, I need to be making the decision for myself, and I need to be able to."
Because the comments that I've gotten, or the feedback that I've gotten from like family members and things like that is, mother knows best. And the thing about adults is they kind of feel a sense of entitlement because of age. And
without a doubt,
age is not a prerequisite for knowledge.
Oh, say that one more time. Say that one more time. That was
not
good.
a prerequisite of knowledge. And the thing that I never would take that away from anyone. Age does come with wisdom. You've been here longer and things like that. But I've experienced, things. Just this. How long have we been in school? I want to say 6 months.
Yeah,
the 6 months that I've experienced doesn't compare to my 18 years of life. I've done and learned so much from just being here. So I've grown, and the thing is, parents are kind of stuck in that way that they've seen you grow a certain type of way and a certain trend, and then when you get to college, that trend spikes significantly, and they kind of have a hard time, taking that in.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, that's good. So, out of curiosity, just to be politically correct for the remainder of the conversation, is it politically correct to refer to a man as homosexual or a gay man?
Thank you for asking that question.
Of course.
Sometimes the term homosexual or homosexual has been used in a derogatory way. I can't speak for all people, so I can't. That's just like somebody saying, like, if you would prefer to be called Black or African American, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But for me, I would rather be called a queer or gay man. I don't like anyone referring to me as homosexual.
Okay, no worries.
I don't refer to you as heterosexual all the time. People just say straight.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so when did you find out that you weren't attracted to women? Or attracted to males, rather?
When did you find out that you weren't attracted to men?
That's a good question. I'd have to say probably, I guess technically like puberty, to be honest. I found that I had a preference in women.
I can say same for me, but in a different sense. I've just never been. I felt as though I needed to be attracted to women because that was the social norm growing up, and it was weird to like guys and to be gay and to not play football and not play basketball. So I've always known, in a sense. I don't think you ever just wake up in the morning and be like it's a spike, but it's a growing thing. Like you said, puberty, people really don't. Once those chemicals, start rolling, your attraction, things like that, because that's when you kind of really find out. But I was born gay, I would say.
Okay, yeah. That was going to be the next question I was going to ask you. So, like, do you feel like people are born gay?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, that's fair. So what were some of, like, your biggest takeaways from the entire situation? I'm talking about the Twitter situation with your mom.
Being yourself unapologetically, no matter if the people that you
are closest to
and that who you want to validate you, agree with that, because I feel as though like we grow up and everybody can mostly agree to say that they look from validation from their parents.
Absolutely.
Like you look to make sure that your parents are proud of you. You do things to make sure your parents are proud of you.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you do that sacrificing your happiness. And you have to be happy and you have to live your life the way you want to live your life. Because living your life for somebody else, you're going to always be not happy. Like you're just
Absolutely.
not going to enjoy it. So what I can take away from this is to love myself, to be myself, unapologetically, like I keep saying. And it's taught me so much about myself, and that I was so much stronger than I thought that I was, because I allowed myself to break down. There's been plenty of times where I've just cried, and I like bottled that in for a little bit. And this situation has taught me that it's okay to have feelings. It's okay for people to be saying all these things to me, and I get hurt by it. But what I learned from that is that the things that they're saying right now, they're not sitting in this chair right now getting interviewed, and this interview is not, their words are not going to be
reaching
sent and reaching so many people. My words are. So if I allow those people to get to me, then I'm doing myself and I'm doing the other folks who look up to me like a service. I do.
Absolutely. And I just want to commend you. That you is extremely powerful, and you're so strong.
Thank you.
So strong, man. I can't even imagine going through something like that. So that's amazing, man. That's amazing. So have you talked to your mom after the situation, or have you talked to her since, or what's happening?
We've had a little communication. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. And so what are some misconceptions that you'd like to clarify about your life and about the situation, and then about your life?
Twitter is, you can only post a video, 4 pictures, and 250 words or letters.
Characters.
Letters. So it's like you can only see what I allow you to see. And I mean, that's kind of my fault as well. But some people have taken this situation and have made made an entire story out of it that is not true. My mom hasn't disowned me. My mom has not disowned me. If she would disown me, my phone would be off right now. I wouldn't be able to get calls or text messages, like all of the other stuff. So my mom did not disown me. And that's a misconception. I see that a lot in articles saying that my mom disowned me. She has not. Another misconception is that I did this for attention. I would kind of agree. I did do it for attention, in a sense, not attention, for me to get all this recognition and things like that, but to bring up the fact that this is still happening to people. People think that everybody is so accepting of my community. And the thing is, it's 2017. People say it's 2017 and people are more accepting, and it's not. It's not the truth. President, I don't even want to call him president, Donald Trump is in office right now. And he has spewed so much rhetoric, bad rhetoric towards, the LGBTQIA plus community. His vice president has talked about electrocution therapy, and things like that. So no, things haven't changed. And I wanted to bring awareness that, parents kind of do feel this way about their children, and it makes them uncomfortable, and it makes their children uncomfortable. So just to spark that conversation, because I know that people have been having conversations about this, and I didn't know they was going to be so big and that so many people were going to be having this conversation. But I was hoping that at least a couple people were going to be like, hey, that isn't right, or what do I think about this?
Terrible. Yeah. It has truly been my pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on, just giving your side of the story, straight from your mouth. I really appreciate it. You can tell the camera, social media, and all that stuff.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Prince, PRINCE, Jauan, JAUAN.
Thank you so much for watching Something Interesting with Robert Rucker. We out here. Yo.